So good afternoon, all, and good afternoon to everyone. Pranav, Niveda, and so what we are going to see, and I'll tell you a brief about what is this about. We are going to start a lot of programs in Minds of Aspirant, especially answer writing program. Many of the students had asked me for how do you approach this answer writing is what everyone asked, and it is going to be there for GS also, so that is ACUMEN, and it is going to be there for Anthropology optional, which I'm going to personally take, which is for that Taumai program, and GS for answer writing, essay answer writing will also be there. So all these programs are so all these programs we have, as you might be very well aware, we are a small team, so we are approaching it in a linear fashion. So slowly every program will be rolled out, and it will be catered to the way the students want them to be. So what I thought was, so many of the students had asked me many of the doubts, how is it going to be, or what is that is this program is about, or what is this answer writing, are you just going to tell the points, or is there more to this program? And I want to clarify one thing, is that this is not going to be like I'm going to tell you these are the points, you note down these points, this point is important, that point is important. All these will be there. Okay, this examination needs all these points, but this examination also needs the fact that you have to cultivate. See, you have to in a way write, and answer building is a skill. Okay, it is not only about the science of the points, it is also about how do you imbibe that habit of answer writing. That is what this program will be. How do you propose to do that? I'll give you a sample of all these things. That is why I thought, how do you do? Again, that problem will come. How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? That is why we are going to have this campaign for 20 days. So it is going to be a campaign where I will come and solve one question of ACUMEN, that is GS paper answer writing. I'll solve one question, and I'll solve one question on anthropology as well, because many had asked the same doubts as to how do you, or how are you going to have this program. So I thought we'll have it for everyone, so everyone can come and ask their doubts, so that we can make an assessment of how this is going to be approached as well. So we'll go to the first thing. So it is going to be a 20-day campaign, so you can write the answers. Some of them have also asked this doubt of whether it is going to be a so everyone can write or not. Everyone can write. So that is the purpose of having this campaign of 20 days. And I will also tell you, how do you approach this answers? That is the point. How do you approach an answer writing? How do you build an answer writing is what I'm going to speak about in this program. So you can look at the doubt, or you can ask your doubts as well. I'll try to clarify them as well. So we'll go to the first question. So I think I've made this abundantly clear. Everyone can write. See, everyone can write. That is the purpose of this campaign itself. And see, this is why we are having this campaign run. Or just a minute. So we are going to start, as I said, answer writing for anthropology, ACUMEN, which is GS paper 4, and there is going to be an anthropology batch as well, and GS paper 4 essay answer writing, and there will be a mentorship program by Mr. Srivatsan also. So in order for you to understand what are we going to do, what are we going to do differently, that is what we are going to see today, and you will understand what we are going to do differently. So this is the first question. We'll directly go to the question without any delay. And how do you approach this answer? See, when you're writing an answer, see, or when you are or if you are a new student, or if you have approached civil services earlier, or if you have written mains also, understand one thing very clearly. If the toppers or whoever is saying answer writing is important, that does not mean that you sit and write 20-30 papers every day. Yeah. What is the meaning of answer writing when Anudeep Durushetty says that answer writing is what made me the topper of civil services? Is that he understood how do you write an answer. See, it is not about I have written so many answers in my life. It's not about that. It's about civil services. How do you write an answer? Because I think yesterday I saw some papers and I've corrected and I've given the papers also. So I hope, Bhavani, I think the papers would have been given by now. So I have written some, yes, so they have been given. So I have written some suggestions also. Very clearly understand, reading is different, writing answer is different, and writing answer in engineering college is different, writing an answer in medical college is different, writing an answer in agriculture college is different, writing an answer in civil services is different. It is not, and it is not also a very magical thing. It is very basic, and you have to understand that not only the reading part, not only the reading. I have read all these books. Lakshmikant I have read. For example, the question that we are going to see first is Panchayat Raj. So I have read Lakshmikant very thoroughly, or that chapter I have mugged it up. It's not about that. How do you put the things that you have in your brain into the paper is what is the most important part. That is what Anudeep is saying. That is what, for example, all the toppers are saying. They are not talking about 20 questions I wrote in this day. I wrote 70 tests. I wrote 100 tests. They are not talking about that. They have understood how the examination is to be written. Including Shruti Sharma last time, if you look at a paper, that is how you have to write. And that is what we will be learning. For example, look at this question. So the question is, assess the importance. See, this is, and in this campaign, we are going to use civil services question. And very importantly, understand it. I'll be very blunt in saying this. If you read civil services question, previous year question, you will clear this examination. You don't have to go for any other question which anyone has given. Okay? Civil services question is what will make you clear this examination, and I will take civil services question for this campaign itself. So see this, assess the importance of Panchayat Raj system in India as a part of local government. And this question, so first thing you have to note, how many parts are there in this question? UPSC has changed a lot, UPSC has evolved a lot, and hence they are not going to ask you what is this, what is that. They are thinking, or what is Panchayat Raj? They are thinking about how have you understood. So see, look at this. In this question, there are 3 parts, which is the assessing the importance of Panchayat Raj part. The second is you have to justify the part where Panchayat Raj money flows through grants. Okay? And the third part is also there, which what and all other means are there for Panchayat Raj to get their revenue resources. What is the question? So you have to know this fact very clearly. Yesterday also I have given that very clearly. Civil services means you have to, in the answer sheet, okay, so other parts of preliminary examination is different, interview is different. In mains answer writing, if you are going to write a question, start with the definition. First definition. Okay, see, it is like the Three Idiots movie, right? See, it may sound like this guy is saying the same Ratta Maro kind of. No, I am not a believer in this mug-up. But the civil services examination, what it needs, I know. Okay, what you have to write in anthropology also, next question we will discuss. See, first concentrate on the definition. Here the definition is, for example, see, they are asking you to assess the importance of Panchayat Raj. Means the definition should be, what is this Panchayat Raj, right? See, this is what you should write. What is the Panchayat Raj? And when you are writing Panchayat Raj, remember this very clearly. No, see, Panchayat Raj is one of the most important organization in India. Panchayat, see, that everyone knows. Okay, that everyone knows. And Panchayat Raj, all we will create history through Panchayat. All that everyone knows. What is the definition of it? Means Panchayat Raj is the Gandhian principle. So first, Gandhian principle of organizing villages into an autonomous governing body. See, I cannot write all is wasala. Please look at that. Autonomous organizing villages into an autonomous self-governing body, which was incorporated in Part 4 DPSP, Article 14. Sorry, Article 40. Okay, see, look at this. The Gandhian principle, organizing village into autonomous body, which was included in the DPSP, Article 14, and has been implemented through what is called as first 73rd Amendment Act 1992, 74th Amendment Act 1992. So they are asking this Panchayat Raj, local government body. So the Panchayat Raj here, this is urban local bodies. One more thing is that, see, I am using these short forms. In mains answer, no short forms. ULB means urban local body, you have to write. Because I am writing in the board, I am just using a short form. But when you are writing, concentrate on writing full. So if I write arc like this, now it is article. What is the article you should write? 243 to 243. Oh, very, very important. This part is, see, it is like in cinema, see, that is the point you should very much remember. In anthropology also, yesterday I have made so many corrections in the paper. Look at that. Answer writing na definition in. What is the definition of the point that you are going to elaborate in answer? The definition that I am going to say is about the Panchayat Raj. But that is not the question. The first part of the question. Now comes the first part. Now comes the first part where they are asking about, look at this, assess the importance of Panchayat Raj. Importance means nothing but you should not write Panchayat Raj, Gram Sabha, this is there, reservation is there, that is there, this is there. You should talk about significance, importance. You get this point. See, I have read Lakshmikant. In that Lakshmikant, it starts with all these Gram Sabha is important, Gram Panchayat is important. They are talking about all these. Correct. But Anna, question is, what is the importance? In importance also, I will see, I cannot elaborate each and every point because this is about, see, we have to complete this and the anthropology question as well. So I will give you, and one more, see, as we go along, and one day, Rome was not built in one day. Answer writing also cannot be built in one day. So each day I will talk about different things, different themes where you can assess the, how do you go about. For example, today one thing I will tell you. For example, fact, usage of fact, usage of fact and reading newspaper. I keep insisting on the fact that reading newspaper will help you in answer writing. People keep asking me, what is the importance of reading newspaper? I have everything from the material. See, you will have everything from the material. And also, please, okay. I have everything from the material. Material is points. How do you put this point in the paper, in the answer sheet is something which you will understand only when you know the context. For example, I'll tell you, few days ago, there was one. So Kirtana, last shall we talk about that, because I will finish the question. So yeah, few days ago, there was an article about child marriage. Anyone read that? Child marriage in India. Did you read that article? I had also posted that article in the group. Child marriages in India. What is the significance of reading that article? I will tell you now. So, for example, I am talking about something. I am talking about Panchayat Raj. What is this Panchayat Raj has connection to this newspaper article? You can ask. The point is that when I am talking about Panchayat Raj, I am not talking about the features. I am talking about its significance. So, significance of Panchayat Raj first, and also this alignment. How do you make? See, subsequently I will tell, because I saw some papers. The full writing as paragraph. No, strictly no. In UPSC civil services examination, if the paragraphs extend beyond 4 or 5 lines, you have lost the match. The match is lost that time. You have given walkover and you have walked out. 4-5 lines maximum. They will not read beyond that. Remember that very clearly. That is why I am going for this point-wise fashion, where I am going to talk about the significance. First, empowerment of women. Empowerment of women is one of the most important significance of Panchayat Raj in India. You can ask, how do you or just can I write this empowerment of women in India? No, the answer writing will not suffice only writing this, but this is the topic. Here I will say 50% reservation are given to women in India according to Article 243D. This is very, very important. You cannot say that I do not know all these articles. How can I write them? What can I do? See, it is the job of you to know the basic articles. Remember that very clearly. Democracy, yes, other points also I will say, but Anna, I will elaborate on how do you see what I am going to say is how do you use newspaper and the facts in newspaper for enriching your answer. That is what I am saying. If you think about it, in that article, they talked about child marriage. What is the significance of empowerment of women and child marriage in Panchayat Raj? See, once you give the Panchayat Raj or reservation for women in Panchayat Raj, there will be empowerment of women, there will be people participation, there will be decision making of women in family, right? Am I making any in the sense? See, this is the point. From this family making, I have said, okay, well, this is they have increased the decision making now. Next, this is where the fact will come. The usage of fact in civil services is in substantiating your point. Now I will say, now I will draw this. And I will say, look at the child marriage data. Child marriage data, which was, for example, in 2005, it was 47. In 2015, it is actually 25%. So you can write 50% also. 50%. From here, it has decreased. So what I will do, I will say National Family Health Survey 5, which says that 23% of child marriage is only present in India, which is itself in a high, which is itself a high. But I will say empowerment of women through Panchayat Raj has resulted in decrease of child marriage in India. This is what you have to do while reading newspaper. Understand the context and importance of certain articles. I am not, see, that is the point I am saying. I am not a person who says that you have to mug up all the data. No. What is the usage of all these things I am referring to? And for example, you can talk about many other points. See, after this you can write, and that is the point. I cannot elaborate every point. You can talk about inclusive growth is improving. Inclusive growth. People participation. People participation. And I can also talk about identification of beneficiary. What is the identification of beneficiary? One example, again reading newspaper, again think about it. Newspaper, it keeps coming. MNREGA program, fake accounts, bogus accounts. You can audit, social audit. You can social audit by the Panchayat Raj Gram Sabha, by the Panchayat Raj PDS, very good, PDS also. You can see, this is the point. I will talk about MNREGA, you can talk about PDS. This is what is civil services. That is why there is no one answer. This is the answer you have to know. How do you build that? That is the point I am talking about. That is why I insist on the fact that reading newspaper is very, very significant. I will keep on stressing this point because that is how this examination is cleared, and I can be very sure about that. The materials are points. You can mug up the materials, you can write down the points. I don't say it is not possible at all. I say for a better officer, You just read the paper, you just read Lakshmikant. You reading paper, reading Lakshmikant, you can write this answer. So look at this point. So Gram Sabha, you can talk about other points also. Exactly, decentralization of devolution, decentralization and devolution of, use words, very good words, decentralization of power. Significance, look at the significance, that is the point you should know. And see, after this, one more point. This is one part of the answer. This is one part. There are three parts. I cannot go about just writing one part and leaving the answer. But in one part, I am writing 5 facets. Understand this very clearly. One part, this is one part now. In that I am, look at how many facets I am covering. I am not covering only one facet. One example which I gave is how do you write this newspaper article along with the, sorry, how do you use the data which is there in newspaper in the answer. That is why I elaborated on that point. But you have to know that these other 4 points are also important, which are very, very significant. Next, apart from government grants, what sources of panchayats can be looked at? So that is one point. So next part, second part, sources of funds for panchayat. Sources of fund. Okay. In that they themselves have given that grants are very important. So you can talk about the State Finance Commission. State Finance Commission article. Do you know that article? Anyone? State Finance Commission. No? Anyone knows that? State Finance Commission? Very good. Very good. Very good. 243I. Okay, 243I. Okay, I'll tell you some important ways of remembering all these articles as we go along. Okay? It's easier to remember. So, State Finance Commission gives this grant, just grants to, and also Central Finance Commission also gives the grants to Panchayat Raj. But this is not the only source. These sources are not enough. So you have to talk about, see, State Finance Commission, Article 243I gives the grants. The Central Finance Commission, Article 280 gives the grants to Panchayat. But the main problem is the devolution of, or the states have the power. States 243G, according to that, have to devolve power, but the states have not given enough power, correct? As a result of which the states, in a sense, the states, they actually, for example, in Tamil Nadu and all, the elections were not conducted at all. So the states can make the Panchayat Raj subsidiary to them. So in this sources of funds, when you are talking about, you say that yes, sources are there, but why the sources are not enough? That you should write. 2 points. So powers are not there, and then proper. So you will not have proper man, or you can have resource for managing. Or you can also say politicization of Panchayat Raj. Understand this very clearly. They are not asking about pros and cons also, but answer writing is about this. When you are saying sources, see, they are saying that sources other than grants, what are useful now? Sources, yes, this is the source, grants. But what are the problems? This is the problems. But other source, as a result of which, as answer writing is like a story. So these problems are there, as a result of which other sources are necessary. Because Panchayat Raj is being, in a sense, they are not being given enough autonomy as Gandhiji would have dreamed about, because of all these politicization and the resource crunch, and also the powers not being devolved. Other sources are necessary. Other sources, what are the other sources? You can talk about many sources. You can talk about fees. Fees. You can talk about fees in the sense that so many services are being provided by Panchayat Raj. You can say water services, you can say many of the community assets are there, correct? For example, MNREGA will be building community assets. These community assets can be used by the Panchayat Raj. One example, I'll tell you. Yeah? See, if the Panchayat Raj, if the Panchayat, Gram Panchayat is building some cyclone prevention space, let us assume that in a cyclone prone area, they are building some space for cyclone prevention or to make the people come into that place. That place will be useful during cyclone. But on other times, the place will be vacant, right? That time, the place can be given for other purposes and fees can be gotten. And the second point, you can also say that business or trade fees. So if there is a tea shop, they should get permission from the Panchayat Raj. So you can have a higher standard of fees. Land tax. Okay, you can have land tax. You can also see, think about different angle. You can also say, for example, tourism fees. Tourism fee or vehicle fee. See, for this, where should I look at? Do not think about all these in a very complicated fashion. Everyone in Chennai would have gone to Mahabalipuram. Before entering Mahabalipuram, they are collecting on taxes or they are collecting on fee. Remember that? It is the same in all the monuments. Where and all monuments are there, you will collect a fee. And that fee can be used by the Gram Panchayat rent. You can say rent. Okay? And you can also say entertainment tax is there. Okay, entertainment tax is there. And you can, I say that you go beyond that also. You think about if in India, bond market is stabilized. See, bond market is for urban local bodies. Urban local bodies like, for example, Bombay, Chennai, all these are very strong urban local bodies. They can participate in the bond market. I know for a fact Panchayat Raj cannot participate. But Anna, I am saying if the bond market is increased in India, I will say in the for long after, in that point, there can be a point where the participation of Panchayat Raj can be done and they can access resource. And then you can conclude saying that again, conclusion will be in the way that we have talked about. Conclusion will be in the same that Panchayat Raj should be given. So all these things we have discussed. So extra resources should be given to the Panchayat Raj. Also, the problems which we discussed, for example, power devolution and treating Panchayat Raj as the subsidiary of the state government should be stopped and given autonomy as Gandhiji would have thought about it. That is the answer that you should write. And look at the, see, if you look at the way the answer I have made, I have not in any case made this paragraph 5 lines. Have I written any 5 lines, 6 lines? No. Or have I written 1 page? No. Answer writing is about understanding, looking at what are the points or what are the necessary constituents of an answer and addressing those answers with multiple dimensions. This is what is the acumen, or this is what answer writing, what I will do. Okay, well, I will do this only. This point you have not written, that point I have not, you have not written this conclusion. See, that is not answer writing. Okay, that is not answer writing. And what UPSC wants in an answer, no one knows. This point UPSC wants, anyone can anyone say this is the point UPSC wants and give it, they give 5 points extra or 5 marks extra for this point. Anyone can come and say no, this is, every point is important. Instead of saying these 5 point significance, I can write 5 more points. You can write 5 more points. But the purpose is, how do you put that in 3 pages? So the important part which I missed out, for example, is 15 marks. Now there should be 3 pages. So 15 mark, na 3 pages. The next anthropology question is going to be a 20 mark question, and it is going to be a 4-page question. So look at this. So this is about, see, this is about this is 4 page. This is about the ACUMEN program which we spoke about, and I hope, is there any doubt in that? Any doubt is there? Shall I go to that ACUMEN or the Taumai? So how do you propose to do? Similarly, I will do anthropology question also. Anthropology is also about the similar facts. It is not about you writing what is that paragraphs. Yesterday, I think, so Kirtana, what was the question that you asked? You there? So shall we talk about this question? Is it okay? There is no, and Arvind, you should know that there is nothing called as easy in life. Do you know that? There is nothing called as easy in life. There is something called as practiced in life. Nothing comes easy, right? You can practice. Practice makes a man perfect. So it is true for practicing articles also.